Don't you want the story twice? Have no fear, the studio say remake so.
You know, normally we have like a lead-in conversation and then I just go, but we didn't really have a lead-in conversation today.
No, we didn't. I don't know. What's going on with you?
Welcome to Once More with Feeling, podcast about great original movies and their often not so great remake. Bonus season 1.5, super season you're welcome for all the extra effort we go through for your benefit.
It's for you.
It's for you. I'm Gus Schiff. I am a screenwriter, improviser, soon to be fully employed full-time worker in a communications role for a nonprofit, which is very cool.
Yeah, Gus got a real job.
Gus got a real job, hopefully temporarily, but you know what? It's a cool organization. I'm excited about it.
Mm-hmm. Gus is making a head gesture to me.
Because it's your turn to introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Mariana, and I'm a YouTube film critic and media scholar. And today we're talking about The Parent Trap.
I have a question real quick.
What?
Are you any more percentage-wise further in your quest to become a doctor?
Gosh, I'm so glad you asked that, Gus. I don't want to... I only want to hear questions about my dissertation.
Good.
The answer is no.
Okay.
I'm not. Thanks.
Today we're talking about The Parent Trap. I just wanted to steal your thunder. The 1961 movie and the 1998 movie.
Uh-huh.
Starring Haley Mills and Lindsay Lohan, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
Should we just go into it?
Yeah, it's what we usually do, yeah.
Yeah, let's just go into it. So, we're in a little bit of a unique situation in that our last episode, the movie also came out in 1961. Did I say 1968?
Did you?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
Well, anyway.
Very different years, 1961 and 1968.
I know. One of them had hippies. A little bit of a unique situation in that the last movie we covered, Absent-Minded Professor, came out the same year. So instead of just rehashing exactly what happened, because like everyone listening has listened to all of our episodes, I imagine, I want to talk a little bit about divorce in the United States, because that's like a big theme of this movie. There's a part early on where the twin is like, so many people are getting divorced these days. It's terrible. That is an accurate accent.
It is an accurate accent. Haley Mills does not do a convincing American accent at all.
Not at all.
Bless her heart.
A very brief history. In 1961, when the movie takes place, there was not a no-fault divorce as we have today. All divorces had to have a cause. Adultery,
Pretty much adultery.
Adultery by the woman, etc., so on. I actually, doing this research, oh my God. Who's our editor, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
Dan, can you cut out this little bit and make me sound smart as I go right into this next part?
Dan, don't cut that out.
I can't. Dan, please cut it out. We're struggling today. California was the first state to pass a no-fault divorce law. You're welcome, but that would not be until 1969, so about 8 years after this. I was doing a little research on divorce. I found out there were like divorce PIs in like New York City who, to help women get divorced, like
God.
women could pay for a photographer and a prostitute. And the prostitute would like seduce the husband and adulterize with them and make sure to get like,
I wonder how common that was.
Me too. I imagine not super common, but like...
No, you got to have a lot of money to make that happen, first of all.
It depends on like the quality of the photographs. I'm really tired.
And the quality of the sex worker.
I felt like you should have made that joke. You should make that joke. What? It's less gross if it comes from a woman. Sound off in the comments if you only want women telling sex worker jokes. Anyway, divorce was incredibly uncommon in the 1900s. This was something that was like, I think, tracked in the census, but only starting kind of in the late 19th century. And so just for ease of knowledge, I started sort of in the 1900s. According to a Business Insider article I found, which was called How the Divorce Rate Has Changed Over the Last 150 Years by a guy named Frank Olito. This is me citing my sources. You're welcome. The divorce rate at around 1900 was less than one divorce per 1,000 people in the U.S. So very, very
That's so
low.
nuts. That's so many miserable marriages. Can you imagine?
Yes, it is.
Everybody hated their spouse.
Yeah. I mean, we're way earlier than this, but it's like how many stand-up comics in like the 50s and 60s were like, I hate my wife.
Oh, my bitch wife. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we talked about that a little bit and how that, like all this just sort of suffuses the way that relationships are formed to begin with. Well, we talked about that with the absent-minded professor, that like it's just sort of passively accepted that it's a huge joke for this guy to just forget his own wedding 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, that is absolutely reasonable. You should want to forget your wedding.
Yeah.
Marriage is bad. It's a responsibility. It's an obligation. It's not something you do for love.
I do it for love. Or I will have done it if you're listening to this in 3 years. 3 to 5 years. Maybe 10 years. We'll see.
Depends on how many patrons we get.
Yeah. Depends on how soon I can buy a ring. What was I saying? Oh, the divorce rate rose steadily through the decades, and big, terrible, world-changing things happened. The World Wars, Great Depression, and women started to be recognized as people. Right? They earned the federal right to vote in 1920. So happy 106th birthday to that. By 1947, which is immediately post-World War II, the divorce rate had skyrocketed to 3.4 divorces per 1,000 people. Around this time, you have like the great suburbanization of the country, which we've talked about a little bit, also called white flight, when predominantly white people fled urban centers to suburban areas. This sort of like hyper-individualism really started kicking up, also as a way to counter communism, to remove yourself from the community of like work organizations, etc., and to orient your identity around the nuclear family. I think and this was a very common idea that shows up in a lot of advertising and culture and sort of government focus, is this idea of the nuclear family. I think we joked a little bit about nuclear family propaganda in season 1, which I think was the movies that were coming out in the 50s. Like everything from Peter Pan to 101 Dalmatians is very like, have a family. Yeah,
this is a really intentional social engineering thing. It is not the case that it was a really successful social engineering thing. It is not the case that like, the sort of like traditional natural format of how people live their lives is a mom and a dad and 2 kids in a house alone. Yeah. That is so rare in the history of human civilization. You got to make that happen.
Yeah. And when we talk about social engineering, it's not like there was a group of people, like a small group of people who were like, we want Americans to do this. It was like a sort of collective agreement from a lot of different people individually. Like, I don't want to give the idea of like a shadowy group controlling various aspects who are like, let's do this.
That's absolutely what was happening.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't shadowy.
That's absolutely what was happening. That was part of the expectation of the post-war economy, that like if you are putting everybody in their own house and everybody has to buy a microwave and everybody has to buy a Ford, the part of the motive of inculcating capitalism as a value instead of an economic system was that you need to be putting people in a position to feel like they have to buy as much stuff as possible.
Right. I guess that's what I mean. It's like there wasn't like a group being like, for cultural control purposes.
That also was happening, though, yes.
I know it was happening, but it wasn't like the primary
very,
thing,
very,
right? Like,
very, very important that women feel like their proper position is a certain one, you know?
Right.
And that
But also-
position is a matter of like great romance and whatever. And you're supposed to be making the home, but also you're supposed to be buying all the stuff for the home.
Right. But and also a lot of that was like economically motivated.
Yeah.
And not necessarily culturally motivated.
It
And some
was
of it was
absolutely
culturally
motivated.
I'm saying not necessarily. I'm not
Yes,
saying it
necessarily.
wasn't. No, not necessarily. Like the people who were like advertising GE microwaves were not like, this will keep women in the home. It was like, this is going to make us a ton of money because now we have a much bigger market for microwaves. We want to get into it.
Yeah, but that was, I mean, this is a feedback loop at this point. Once it gets to, you know, marketing and whatever, they're obviously they're focused on selling microwaves to whoever wants to buy microwaves. But and I wish I had the sources on hand for this. It was absolutely like a goal of the American government to restructure culture around certain gender expectations.
Right.
Like, that was absolutely a thing, especially because like, you know, once all the like, you know, women in labor, has a like long history in American culture. And, you know, through the world wars, like they were doing it in all the factories and shit. And so when all the men came home from the war, they had to figure out a way to get all the women out of the factories so that the men could have work, you know?
Right.
So
and that's
part of this also.
That's also why the divorce rate went up so high by 1947 comparatively, because as I point out, just to get it back to my notes, the divorce rate dropped over the next 13 years down to 2.2 per 1,000 people by 1960.
That's so few.
I know. So long story short, the Parent Trap is incorrect in that there are so many people getting divorced. There are not a lot of people getting divorced.
No.
I should have put this in for context, but let me find this real quick. And then our wonderful editor, who's great and who always does the things that I ask him to do, Dan, will just cut this out and pretend like I knew this immediately. Oh, that's a lot lower than I thought. For context, the divorce rate as of I can't give today because since 2000. 5 states don't report divorce rates anymore. So let me give you 2000. In 1999, just as for context, the divorce rate was only 4.1 divorces for every 1,000 Americans. So it roughly doubled since 1960, but it's not too high. This article claims that it's even lower as of 2017, that when they last have the data, at only 2.9 divorces. But I think that's undercounting because they are not including one of the biggest states in the country and the biggest population-wise. So
that does seem like an issue, yeah.
Yeah, although I think we do know that like divorce rates are going down because our like millennials in particular took so fucking long to get married.
Yeah, it's
that you know, we're making sure that we do want to be with our partner.
Yeah, my understanding is that like far fewer millennials get married, but far more millennials are in happy marriages when they are married. Yeah. Which is a good thing.
Yeah, a good marriage is when you listen to a Rodney Dangerfield joke and go, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's one of these like sociological policy statistic lines that drives me fucking nuts when people would say that like, oh, we need to encourage people to get married because when people are married, they're more financially stable and they're more this, they're more that, and every all of these metrics go up if you're just married. And
yeah, but isn't it like married people have those metrics?
Right. Yeah. It's not that
it's like
there's nothing magical about getting married.
You can only afford to get married if you fulfill those things.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like people with kids have, you know, make on average $200,000 a year as a family.
Right.
So you should have kids. And it's like,
exactly. Yeah.
I can't afford a kid if I don't already make that.
Yeah. There was I remember in, I guess when I was in college, late high school, there's some big sort of test run in Oklahoma of like going to especially predominantly black areas and like basically pushing all the social services funding into getting people married there. And of course it didn't work. Obviously, It didn't work. Yeah. And, I mean, the results are interesting that like they would go and do these focus groups and group therapy, kinds of things and whatever, all this outreach stuff. And it was predominantly women, black women, who were going to these, saying, yeah, I'd love to get married. That sounds great. Like I would love to be in a stable situation where everybody has a job and my kids are supported and whatever. And it's just like, yeah, if these precepts aren't there already, like those are the things that make marriage good for families or whatever.
Can I tell you something? I don't know how many billionaires and powerful politicians listen to this podcast. I imagine it's a pretty small number, if not currently zero, although in the future, at least one. The amount of friends that I have who are like, I would love to have a kid. I love kids. I want children. I literally can't afford it.
Yeah, I'd love to have a kid.
It's crazy. Like, these fucking Elon Musks of the world who are like the worst, the thing we worry about the most in the world is population decline. People aren't having enough
that
kids.
Shit drives me
like,
fucking nuts.
Pay people more money.
Well, and then also the flip side of that is like, what is the plan exactly? Are we gonna like are we gonna like are we gonna have kids at a rate of like 2.5 just forever?
Yeah,
what
2.1.
Yeah, but I mean, to the kind of replacement rate that they would like. They want an exponentially growing population forever, which is fucking stupid. Like at a certain point, you have to say enough is enough and think about like how you support the actual people living on Earth now. I hate pronatalism. It's so fucking stupid. But it's like there's so many people, including myself, who would love to have kids, and who. Not to say anything, but like, me, if I were in a more stable financial situation, is, according to statistics, the kind of person you would want to have kids who are like, highly educated and relatively emotionally stable, but like, have a stable family and a support system and whatever. And like, the kinds of people who are making the decisions to not have kids are the people you want having kids. Right. And the reason they're
like
not
politicians, it's like the people you most want to lead are the ones who are like, no, pick someone else.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel that.
Anyway, I think it's interesting that this movie is like, I mean, I wonder how radical it seemed at the time for this movie to be kind of not accepting of divorce, because the entire story is about how they get back together or whatever. But like, that the parents are not, they're not like freaks. They're very wealthy, sort of upper class individuals.
They were both much more successful after they divorced. I think that was made more explicit in the remake, but it's like, the giant, he doesn't know, it's not a winery in the first movie. He owns a ranch in Carmel. And he didn't own it when they were together because they were like poor and also hated each other. Real quick before we move on, I do want to point out, just as far as the movie is concerned, like there were fewer divorces per capita in 1960 than there were, like, I guess when the writers were, well, after the war, when I'm sure there was a big, like, don't get divorced, the commies will win, like, thing going on. But the population of the U.S. between 1940 and 1960 grew by 30 million people.
Jesus.
And it was 150 million. It grew to roughly 180 million. That's a 20% increase in 20 years.
And we basically doubled it since.
Yeah, that's a huge increase. And so even though there were fewer per capita divorces, they may have become, I guess 20% of 2.2 is not 3.4, is still less than 3.4. But it's like, it may have seemed like there were more and more. The way that it seems like crime is more prevalent in densely populated areas, even though like statistically it's safer than whatever rural outpost. Something to think about. Here's the synopsis of The Parent Trap, 1961. 20 minutes of recording time into the podcast. Two girls meet at summer camp. I forgot their names. They look identical. Oh, it's Susan and something else. Something that sounds like Susan.
Yeah, very 60s names.
Yeah.
Sally
Susan
or
and
something.
Whatever. Susan and a girl who looks exactly like Susan meet at summer camp. They hate each other immediately for no reason. After getting into a full-out brawl during a camp dance, when one of them like pranks the other by cutting out her dress.
It's a pretty nasty prank.
It's like really mean.
Super mean.
They're confined to the isolation cabin together, where they realize they are long-lost identical twins whose parents split up shortly after their birth. They decide to switch places and trick their parents into meeting up and falling back in love. But the dad, oh no, is about to marry a 26-year-old gold digger. So they speed up the plan. The mom's kid reveals the deception. The mom lives in Boston. The dad lives in California. And the mom and the daughter, the butler's also in the new movie. The mom and the daughter fly out to Monterrey to stop the wedding, and some hijinks happen, and there's romance, and the dad, the gold digger, and the twins go camping, and then the kids torture the gold digger, and then she slaps one of the kids, and then the dad breaks up with her, and then the parents fall back in love, and then the movie ends.
Yeah, it's The Parent Trap. You've seen The Parent Trap.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
It's
super cute.
It's cute. It's long. It's a very long movie.
It is a very long movie. I love the performances. I love especially, I forget who plays the dad, but he's super great, and he makes the fact
Rupert something, I think.
Okay, he makes the fact that this is a story about a bunch of females trying to ruin a guy's life.
Brian Keith.
The entire movie is just about how are we going to manipulate this man into like doing what he doesn't want to do. Yeah. Every single woman and girl in this movie is trying to do that, and he's so clueless.
Yeah.
In a way that I think would read a lot differently if he were played by a worse actor. He's very, very good.
Yeah. He is good.
Yeah, and I think that goes a long way in, I don't know, adjusting the more troubling aspects of this movie towards something palatable, like treating domestic violence as a joke. Oh, holy shit.
Yeah,
She fucking clocks him in the face and then like makes fun of him for being mad about it.
I was gonna ask what you meant by more troubling. In my mind, I went right to like how the girls are supposed to be from Boston and California, and one sounds like she's from England or London, like the posh part of London, and the other one sounds like she's a block away from the posh part of London. Yes. That was great.
It is poor accent work.
Yeah. That's okay. I think people were still okay with like that kind of transatlantic accent.
Right.
None of the reviews I found were
jarring.
Like, yeah, they was like, it was good, except, Haley obviously is British. Nobody said that. They were all fine with it. Whatever. There were parts of it there, like, I thought this movie was quite long.
Mm-hmm. It is long.
Definitely an interesting look into an older version of storytelling. That sort of
the pacing
definitely messed with my expectations of like, do we really need this moment? Do we need to? There were some really fun gags I enjoyed when they switched places for the first time, where like one of them really knows piano super well and the other one like speaks French and blah blah blah. And so like you had the girl who knows piano switch with the girl who doesn't know piano, and she's like playing a piano song for her mom, and it's like really good. It's some sort of sonata or something, and the mom's like, when did you learn piano? And she's like, and then she goes right into chopsticks. It was really funny.
Yeah,
that was maybe my favorite joke in the movie.
I like the I can't remember if it's as much of a running joke in the old one, but in the new one, camp is just blamed for everything, that like every difference they have is just I learned it at camp. It's this like crazy,
I think it was there
crazy
too.
Educational camp.
Yeah. It's very funny. This is not related to the movie. I noticed in the credit roll at the beginning there was something that said special credit he And I don't know if that was a joke or if there was a person whose first name started with T and last name was he and actually did something in the movie. I just wanted to point it out. It was weird. I laughed. So I know, look, listen. Don't punch your spouse or ex-spouse.
Don't punch anybody. You don't have to. It's okay. There are some people it's all right to punch.
Yeah.
But you don't have to.
It would argue you have a moral obligation to punch. Such as people who say, please punch me. It will bring me happiness. So listen, don't punch your spouse or ex-spouse. But at the same time, the sexual chemistry of these parents in this movie is off the charts. It was like they have a couple scenes where they like start screaming at each other. And it felt like I was watching like a Tennessee Williams play.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, I'm concerned for them, but also it's like arousing and terrifying and like, oh my God, are they going to rip each other's clothes off? And then I remembered it was 1961 and the Hays Code was like very much still there.
They're great.
It was interesting.
It's another thing about the weird sexual politics of 1961 where it's like I think this is the place where the place and time where we get the sort of relationship trope that I certainly grew up with. I'm sure you heard it too, where it's like arguments are the spice of a relationship, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause it's like it's pretty clear that these people probably shouldn't be together.
Yeah.
Because they do not resolve any of their issues by the end. It's just that like cosmically they should be together because the twins have discovered each other, and so they must get back together. Those are the rules of the story.
Yeah.
And like
also because the sex is probably really good.
I'm sure that's great for them. That doesn't mean you need to be married.
It's an interesting moral question. It's like at what point of marital disharmony does that outweigh how good the sex is?
It's a super weird thing about this era of American sexual politics that Betty Friedan pointed out in The Feminine Mystique that I think is a really good point, that as kind of Puritan and wholesome as we imagine a lot of this era and previous era, like the Victorian era is also kind of this way. It's like
they were freaky weirdos.
Oh my God, they were such freaky weirdos. Like sex was all these people fucking thought about, you know? Yeah. And it's like you get married in order to have sex. You solve problems with sex. You advertise sexuality everywhere you go. Yeah. Like sex must be at the forefront of who you are as a person in society. Yeah. That's the kind of culture we're talking about.
I mentioned last week that last episode, that my grandparents got married after 3 months of dating. After 3 months of dating, it was so that they could have sex.
Yeah.
That is, and that's not me guessing. Mm-hmm. That's something that my grandmother said. Like at one of the family reunions.
My grandmother got married at 16. My grandpa was 20. And the reason my great-grandmother signed off on that was because she wanted to get married, and the guy she wanted to marry wouldn't do it unless her daughter was out of the house. So she kind of like married my grandma, and they had a really happy marriage for 60 years. It was fine, but like
that's cute.
This is
so he did not like Rodney Dangerfield jokes.
He did not like Rodney Dangerfield jokes. No,
that's good.
Yeah.
That's something I feel like I've just solved marriage counseling.
You gotta fuck before you get married. It's really important.
You gotta. It's so vital. I have multiple friends. I don't know how this has happened, but I have multiple friends who are like semi-celibate before marriage. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I cannot express to them enough how important it is.
Yeah.
That you figure out if you work in that way before you commit to spending your life together.
It's really important.
Yeah. Anyway.
This
movie, The Parent Trap. So The Parent Trap is an adaptation of the 1949 German book, and I'm going to butcher this, so apologies to the at least 2 German listeners. Das Dopeite Lutschen.
We just lost the entire Minnesota listenership.
Oh no. All 3 of them. Which means the double Lotties by a German writer named Erich Kästner. Wait a second, hold on. 1949, German? I thought the same thing. And I looked him up, expecting the worst, but it turns out he was a noted opponent of the Nazis who stayed in Germany despite, the whole situation. And in fact, I found this out doing a little research on him. When the war was ending in 1945, he pulled an Argo to flee Berlin during the final Soviet assault.
Oh, he made a whole script and everything and was like, I gotta go make this movie.
I don't know if they made a whole script, but there was a group of artists and writers who faked making a movie in Western Austria. And part of that was to avoid the Soviet assault, and part of that was that he was tipped off that the SS was going around Berlin and killing the last of the regime holdouts. So fascinating guy, and look, you can like his work guilt-free because he never
he wasn't even a Nazi.
Yeah, at no point did he ever support the Nazis.
Amazing.
Which is very cool. Anyway, most of the production info I found cited either Haley Mills or Maureen O'Hara's biographies, who played the twins and the mom respectively, and there wasn't a lot. So let me just go through a little bit of that. Haley Mills, who played the 2 twins, was in a lot of ways the Lindsay Lohan of the early 60s. Mm-hmm. She was a huge star, massive, showing up in at least one Disney movie per year from 1960 to 1965. In fact, she won the last ever juvenile Oscar for her first role with Disney, which was Pollyanna. She is British, in case you were wondering.
In case you couldn't tell.
And I don't think she ever learned how to do an American accent, but I have not seen her work. She is also still alive. So
is she really?
She is. She's 80 years old. So, Haley.
Aww.
If you now know how to do an American accent,
come on this show and prove it.
Yeah. I think we're gonna be doing That Darn Cat, which is the last Disney movie she did, or the last one she did in this spree. So come on, in 2 weeks.
What is the remake of That Darn Cat called?
That Darn Cat.
Really?
From 1997. I found this in the Discord. One of the patrons pointed it out. Yeah, 1997. I think we're doing it. It depends on if it was theatrically released. It was.
Great. That
Amazing.
Darn Cat.
A movie I have never heard of. Maureen O'Hara was, from what I could find, a massive, massive movie star. She appeared in something like 60 movies in her career and played leads starting from her 3rd role, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. Fun little story. Maureen was supposed to get top billing for The Parent Trap, but Disney gave it to Haley, so Maureen never worked with them again.
Oh my god. What a diva.
Yeah. Anyway, movie was a huge success. It was the 4th most successful movie of 1961 with $9.3 million in theater rentals, which was just above last episode's The Absent-Minded Professor with $9 million. The 2 above that, I think, were West Side Story and The Guns of Navarone, if I remember that from last week. I don't want to look it up. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Critics liked it fine. It wasn't glowing massive reviews like the best movie of the year, 101 Dalmatians.
It's a bit
podcast.
of a... It's not... We're not quite entering... Well, this is the beginning of Disney's flop era. Mid-century flop era. Nobody was very impressed with the live action stuff.
No. I don't know if any live action stuff that Disney had put out was that impressive. Disney mostly focused, as far as I know, on lower budget, very broad things in their live action arm. And this is a continuation of that. although this was, I think, a significantly higher budget than The Absent-Minded Professor, I couldn't find any information on the budget. I looked it up on Google, and Google was like, it's $2.5 million. And then I clicked on the sources it cited for that. It didn't show up anywhere. So it was fucking lying. Because it was in color. It was colored, or the film was in color, compared to Absent-Minded Professor, which was black and white. So that alone, big expense. Anyway, critics liked the movie just fine. Podcast favorite Bosley Crowther liked it. He called the movie most appealing. But he fucking loved Haley Mills. The whole review just talks about how good Haley Mills was. Here's an example. Indeed, it was quite an inspiration to have this remarkable child do the far-fetched and sentimental things that are called for in this film. For without her entirely wholesome nature and her ability to give substance to a line that has pure corn syrup in it, this could be an unbearably painful thing. And most critics, especially pointed out Haley Mills, as a great part of the movie, including variety and time. So that's what I have for the first movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's
good. I don't know.
She's good.
Yeah.
She's good.
And that's it. I kind of, I don't know, I struggle to see what all the critics of the day who were so excited about Haley Mills were really seeing, you know? She's cute.
I'm wondering if we've been, like, since the 1960s, if we have been spoiled by child stars. Uh-huh. Like, we had Macaulay Culkin. We had Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
We had the Stranger Kids thing. Wait, we had the Stranger Things kids. Dan, cut that out. We had... Dan, you don't have to cut that out. That was a joke. We had Haley Steinfeld. We had Caitlin Dever.
Who's that?
The redhead from Booksmart, and then also has done like just a bunch of dramas since then. Mm-hmm. She was in The Last of Us. Mm-hmm.
Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of. I think part of it might be, and maybe this is just me making shit up, but I would suspect that there just wasn't a whole lot, like not a whole lot of the industry in 1961 was focused on developing child stars, you know, or like, you know, setting up acting schools for them or doing a whole lot of scouting for them, because it was assumed that the draw would be the adults and, you know, the movie stars or whatever.
I know the draw in this movie was Haley, and that's like present in the advertising.
Oh yeah, totally. But like, you know, like you just said, apparently Maureen, what's her name, like she so assumed that she would be top billed that this was like she took it personally, you know.
Yeah, I think it was like a contractual thing that Disney reneged on, which they do a lot. I'm looking at the theatrical poster for this one. Under Haley Mills's credit, it says Honorary Academy Award winner, Outstanding Juvenile Performance, 1960 Pollyanna. So it didn't just say, and listen, modern advertisers, make a note of this. It doesn't just say Academy Award winner Haley Mills. It gives the award that she won, it gives the year and what she won it for. And I love that specificity. I appreciate it.
We didn't talk about the fiance at all. I think she's great.
Oh, the gold digger? Yeah. I thought she was wonderful.
She might be my favorite performance. I think
what's interesting is Bosley Crowther. That was like the only sort of overt negative that he had was he felt like she was overacting.
I disagree.
I disagree. I thought she was so much fun.
Mm-hmm. And she's in the new one, which is delightful.
She was. There was that little cameo.
Uh-huh.
Of her, which makes these explicitly set in the same universe.
This just happened twice.
Yeah.
This entire situation.
There's a whole... I bet you could connect all... I bet you could connect like 80. People are like, oh, MCU, groundbreaking. Disney was doing that shit 65 years ago. They're incredible. There's a really funny moment. I really love the maid character in Boston. She has this, or no, in California. Mm-hmm. she has the dad's maid. She has this whole thing of like, you won't hear me talking about
the way
it
she
because
gossips.
I don't. Yeah, it's so much fun.
They aren't really characters as much as they are in the new one, which is something I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting.
Sure.
I think it's a sort of an interesting commentary on
Okay.
the times they were both made in, where it's like,
Yeah.
it's not assumed that the help or whatever is going to be like a central part of your story. Like, they're not even really, I mean, they're supporting cast, but they're not like, co-stars of any kind.
Right.
In the way that
they're not
they are in the new
recognizable.
ones.
They're not given a story or plot to work through. They're just there. One of the things that I wrote down, one of my notes, was Vicky's presented as like a pretty like evil, nefarious character, and the first introduction of that is like she's introduced as a gold digger, and it's like, oh, she's only after him for his money, and then they like show this massive palatial Californian estate with like tens of thousands of acres for riding horses and a successful business, and it's like at a certain level, it's okay to gold dig.
Especially when, like, I mean, you gotta like the person, obviously, but he's likable,
Yeah.
He's like handsome,
He's a swell
charming,
guy.
kind-hearted, generous.
Yeah.
Like, of course she wants to marry this guy. Who wouldn't? But it's an interesting feature of both of these movies that kind of what would you call it? That kind of practical appraisal of
That's what I meant.
of people's financial situations is considered very, very, like, not just like gauche or unfashionable, but it's like morally incorrect.
Yeah.
Do you want to start talking about the new one, or 45 minutes
real soon? I do. I had something interesting and I totally lost it.
We were talking about
Gold digger.
and
Vicky. Money. Movies. California. Palace. Wine? No. Color. Film. Reading my notes again. I remember what I want to talk about. This is not related to what we were just talking about, but so this movie is made in 1961. Right? They did not have digital compositing in 1961. They could not take Armie Hammer's face and put it on top of the face of a guy who looks a little bit like Armie Hammer and have him play twins. So they used a technology to have them both in frame called split screening, where I don't know exactly what they did, but they either shot it twice and stitched the film together, literally, or they shot it once with the empty space and then shot it again with her on like a black, like a black background that wouldn't expose to the film. So then she was exposed like over the location. It's probably the first one.
I think it's mostly the first one. That's why they're sort of strategically on sides of the screen where they can be like cleanly separated later on.
One of the things I started noticing is like almost all of the shots, there was some sort of like line in the middle that I imagine they used as the sort of stitching point, which I thought was really cute. But then on top of that, when the two characters are in the frame at the same time, they need to hide one of the faces, and all of the different ways they found to hide the face, I kept laughing at. There's a moment when they're marching to the isolation cabin where one of the girls carries her bag, on her shoulder. So when you shoot from the side, you can't see her face. Or she'll wear like a certain hat or whatever that covers her face, or just like a bunch of really fun ways that were clearly them hiding it, but doing their best to be like, we're not hiding anything. See, you can almost see her face. I just thought that was like a really charming, like early filmmaking technique that made me appreciate the movie just a little bit better.
It's so inventive and so creative and cute. Yeah.
It's really
the
nice.
things you have to do when you just don't have all these digital tools at your disposal and can't make everything absolutely perfect the way you envision it.
It is.
Makes you creative.
It is. I was listening to, I still haven't seen this movie, but I really want to find time this week. I Love Boosters, the Boots Riley movie. Yeah, I was listening, I was reading an interview that he was doing with one of the trades. And he was talking about, like, he really likes his movies to have a little bit of jankiness. Like, he likes to see artists trying in the films that he likes. And in fact, like, he named a movie that we saw together as one of his favorites of, like, this decade, which is Hundreds of Beavers.
So good.
Yeah.
Hundreds of Beavers.
And it has, I loved that movie so much.
So funny.
Because it has the jank, but it's like, it's so charming and it's so clever. And it's so much fun.
It's because if you have jankiness in your movie, then you really are relying on your storytelling capabilities. Like, it's the thing that connects what people are doing in film to telling stories around a campfire 15,000 years ago, where it's like these things are the same thing, and the stories that people were telling around the campfire, like, there was a skill to that. And if you're a really good storyteller, it's every bit as immersive. It's every bit as engaging. And it's every bit as, like, it sparks your imagination every bit as much as watching a movie that, like, hews, so closely to realism. It's just not the point of storytelling.
Absolutely. And so that just reminded me of seeing, I guess, both of these movies, honestly, but mostly this one, which is very cute. Now we can talk about the new one. Oh, before we do that, I have to read out 107 names.
107.
Which we are going to change how we do this.
We have to. We got to give Gus a break.
Why do I have 35 notifications on Patreon? I have no idea. Blah, blah, blah. Click. 105. Thank God. Okay.
I'm going to run to the bathroom while you're doing this.
This episode is brought to you by our wonderful, incredible patrons. You just leaving? She just left. Are you just leaving me to read these all alone? Our wonderful patrons, RX Amnesia, Mr. Ray, hi Jim, it's me, Bryce Dallas Howard. I'm sorry, but I found another man. His name is redacted, and he is better at ranking than... I'm sure there's more, but it got cut off. Imeshiji, Luke the Cat, Horrible Goose Cultist, Tor Henrik, Kyle Richardson, Chariot Rider, Moritz Musings, Henry, Nikon Narani, Paf, Thomas Harvell, Tanner I Hardly Know Her, Sophie, Elizabethan, Naren Hazare Singh, Jadan M. Gooden Samuel, Bruce, Wesley Massey, Josh Barnett, Brittany, Jaron Talata, Peter Taylor, Mercy Morn, the Saint of Joy, Gus's real actual son. Oh, that's weird. Kiyoshi the Oki, Nukewarm, Amy Mother of Dragons, Breaker of Chains, Angus Mack, Jazz Dumpster, Reza Vajani, Repented 1138, John Bailey, Hans, Eleanor Magnuson, Taylor Nebeker, The Real Actual Babadook, Ian McBay, Emily Phillips, Mingo Membrillo, Mary Johnson, Sam, Mary Lucille, Comrade Katie, Bisexual Cryptids Anonymous, LJG, Andy Leach, Violet. I've just hit 50, by the way. I don't know what you went off to do, but that's how long it took.
I told you I was going to the bathroom.
Oh. Camburgers, Andy, Roundneck Sethi, Evaro Pinsker, Harv, Adam Winkenbach. No, Winkenbach. Winkenbeck. He told he messaged me, and it was like, it's not that German.
The not VW.
Yeah.
Unlike
Fake Movie Geek.
Velen Inspector.
Yeah. Fake Movie Geek, Woody Sims, Marcos Esparza, Madeline Ross, Jorge Valdez, Birdie, Alex, Miguel Vela Garnett, Silly Me, Hypervisceration, Aurora Rogers, Patrick Powers, David Monkman, Just Chip, Isaiah Evans, Okay Biddy, Dr. Foes, Orestes, Andrew Osborne, Sheila Kelly, that's my mom, Spooky Teeths, William Bentley, Janelle Rose, A Long Way Home, Ryder, Seamus Bertag, Mark Wampler.
You're overthinking this.
Cetone,
you know that it's
Inspector.
supposed to be pronounced a certain way, and you just can't remember which.
That is correct. Fading into obscurity, the antithesis. Wells Harrell, Forrest Cochran, Ted the Dead, Ryan Faber, Andrew Ray, Samoa, Gun Parade, Colleen Burns, Chimerathon, Charlotte Detweiler, James Trendle, Sky Kalliane, Christine H, Chloe, Dana Loy, that's your mom.
It's my mom.
Donnie, Aaron Summers, Thomas McFarland.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, so much. You're all wonderful.
You're exhausting, Gus, which is amazing. It's amazing that we've gotten to the point where reading all your names out is tiring for Gus.
In a lot of ways, this counts as cardio. So thank you for keeping me healthy and alive. If you too would also like to keep me healthy and alive, you can check us out on patreon.com. Or if you put a check in the mail and you just say, Gus, it'll probably get to me. I don't know.
Probably won't.
Feel free to advertise our show on the mountainside in a large rock. Set a controlled fire to burn the name of the show in the field. Yeah. Make crop signals.
Carve our name into a California redwood. There's so many acts of environmental destruction you can do to promote our show.
Yeah,
and we'd be so grateful.
I want to highlight. You can crop circle a QR code leading to our YouTube page into your wheat. I wanted to get that one out. Let's talk about the new one, the new movie.
Let's talk about the new movie. First, let's talk about the year 1998.
Let's talk about the year 1998. Tell me about the year 1998. Well, besides me being 4 years old, what was going on?
I was 5. I was 5 years old in 1998. It blows me away that I'm older than you. I'm never not surprised by that. A little bit, maybe, yeah. You seem... I don't know. You just feel older to me. I don't know. Maybe it's because you have a real job.
Now?
I know.
Since you've known me.
I know, but...
Since you've known me, I've had one real job.
I know, but you to me, have always seemed destined for a real job, whereas I have no place anywhere and am a huge imposter everywhere I go. I'm not doing well, guys. It's a rough day for me.
You're doing great. You have 105 people who are paying mostly just to listen to you. Mostly. I know 5 of them are paying to listen to me.
No, everybody likes you better. Everybody likes us better. Dan, cut this out. One of the first things that happens in 1998, of course, it's an Algerian massacre. It's the same thing that happened all of 1997. And this is how we open 1998. So that's great.
Algerian Civil War.
Mm-hmm. No more Algerian massacres after that. No major ones, at least. It seems like that's when the Algerian massacres sort of stop being a thing, which is great. Fewer massacres would be awesome overall.
Good.
A bunch of countries in Europe agree to forbid human cloning. Couldn't get any preemptive AI regulations in place, I guess. Well, whatever. The story of Bill Clinton's affair with Monica Lewinsky breaks in February, I think. January, February. The Kosovo Liberation Army kills 2 police officers, which results in the Serbian police killing 16 KLA members and 26 civilians, and the start of the Kosovo War. Andrew Wakefield, this is just for you, Gus. Andrew Wakefield's nonsense study linking vaccines to autism is published. We hate that.
Aw,
we hate that.
Thanks for that, guy.
You're welcome. That gets redacted, of course, in 2010. But facts aren't real by then, so... The Good Friday Agreement happens, which mostly puts an end to the troubles. Windows 98 is released. Google is founded. And a bunch of people are imprisoned and executed for their roles in the Rwandan genocide. And also The Parent Trap is released. This was written and directed by Nancy Meyers, who did a lot of sort of similar 90s rom-coms. And they hire Lindsay Lohan. It is her first movie. Lindsay Lohan is born in the Bronx in 1986. I don't know how Haley Mills' childhood was, but I can't imagine it was easy. And Lindsay Lohan is sort of similar. It sounds like she had kind of a rough child star time. Many such cases. She was kind of like she was supporting her family in a little bit the same way that that Jojo Siwa also is a sort of like more modern example of this, where
That's
it's
tough.
like it's awful, where it's like the family that gets their kid into acting, they become a huge star unexpectedly, and then the entire family relies on their money, and that can result in some serious parental abuse, and it sounds like that was happening here. I watched a bunch of making of documentaries for The Parent Trap, and she's so cute. Little baby Lindsay Lohan is
cute.
so cute, and she's so she's so precocious, and she sounds so smart, and she's like talking about how much she loves acting, and how I want to go to a good college and be an actor and director, and it's sad. It's fucking sad, man.
That was the first note I wrote for the new Parent Trap after Nancy Myers ! Was, oh my god, she's adorable. Talking about Lindsay,
she's so cute, and she's a good actor. Her accent work is quite good.
Yeah,
she plays Annie and Hallie, both very early 2000s names. Similar to whatever Sally and Sarah, or what was her name?
Susie and Shannon. Susie and Shannon.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Okay. Yeah.
Dan, take Shannon and put it back. I'm kidding.
So this is Lindsay Lohan's first movie, and she's so good, and it's functionally the same movie. I'm not going to do the Gus has absolved me of my requirement to do the synopsis, because it is the same movie.
It's identical.
It's the same movie, but the fact that it's
there's one difference, which is that when California Girl sends Boston Girl a telegram in 1961, California Girl sends London Girl a fax.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the only difference in the whole film.
There's no grandmother in the new one. There's this sort of like weird grandmother plot cul-de-sac in the old one, and she's not here in the new one. But yeah, otherwise it's pretty much the same movie. Also, there's no that really kind of the main plot difference is that the relationship between the parents is not really explored in the same way. It kind of seems like they're actually shying away from actually talking about what happened between them, and just sort of focusing on the romance instead, which is fine. It works really well, but I do think it's sort of interesting that like it really isn't clear why they broke up, except like maybe they were like too poor or too impulsive, or I don't know. It's just not really touched upon. Incredibly successful movie. $15 million budget, 92 million return.
Wow. That's almost as good as 2026 hit Obsession, which had a $800,000 budget, and as of today has hit over $100 million.
God damn, 800,000, really? Wow.
$800,000.
That's nuts.
It's really good. It's fucking terrifying, but it's... I had to watch a lot of the movie through my fingers with my ears sort of pressed closed.
It's going to be season 2, Gus. I can't wait.
I'm afraid. I'm legitimately scared. Anyway.
It's a good time for movies right now, I think.
Yeah. But also, like, audiences are finally showing up for, like... And right now it's for new horror. This is such a tangent. I apologize. Right now it's new horror, but it's like Juno. If we all remember Juno, which I maintain is an excellent film.
It's great.
That was also an indie movie, super low budget, like $7 million. It made $230 million at the box office.
Insane.
I don't know if we're gonna get that anytime soon, but I think like. My greatest hope is that this renewed interest in new, interesting horror movies will dovetail, I think is the word, into other genres, because I don't like horror very much. I want more interesting. I mean, it's interesting
movies. To me that because like this thing with horror, that's not new. That's been the case since like 2010-ish. Really the only genre that's been allowed to make any kind of innovations of any kind or break any rules, like that's horror is always the genre for that. And it's just that like every other genre is just so stagnant right now and has been for like 2 decades that it seems like it's only ever horror that's able to kind of break through and try new and interesting things.
I think so.
But I do think you're right that that's like, it can be a harbinger of where the culture is going. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers
Shout
crossed.
out to Gen Z, the one good thing they've ever done. I'm kidding. I have no strong opinions one way or another towards any generation.
Back to the Parent Trap.
Yes.
One of the things about just this story, both these movies, that I think is fun is just, it's like right this side of plausible, this situation,
Mm-hmm.
and they do a good job of sort of taking advantage of the preposterousness of this situation.
Yeah.
In a way that I think is kind of weirdly only possible in 1961 and 1998. Like, I think that like these and the intervening time, like I think that these two movies are bookending a very specific time in American history, and especially American economic history, in a way that, like, I think if you made The Parent Trap today, and I think you could, and I think it'd be good, but in order to be good, it would have to be a completely different situation. We can't have like, that like the wealth on display here, and the assumption that this wealth is aspirational and good. That all of these people are good people, and they acquired this wealth through being good people. And how
through
dare you
honest
succeed?
commercial salesmanship. Mm-hmm. In the new movie, like they both produce things. One is Vinter, and one is a wedding dress designer.
Yeah, and good for them.
Oh, Vinter is not a noun that describes a person, is it?
I think it's vintner.
Vintner.
Yeah, he owns a vineyard. As Hallie says.
Yes.
Hallie says,
vintner.
We own a vineyard. Me and my dad.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, rich kid. These are such rich kids. It's
noted kid with a noted easy life, Lindsay Lohan. Shut the fuck
This isn't
up.
Lindsay Lohan saying this. It is Hallie Parker. I watched this movie so many times when I was a kid. And in fact, when I rewatched it for this podcast, I was in Oklahoma with my oldest friend, who I met when I was 7, when we moved to Oklahoma. And we grew up on the same street. We watched this movie when we were very small children together many times. And so we got to watch it together again, and we talked about it. And it was like fun and interesting, sort of comparing notes with Olivia, who is our patron, OK Biddy. Sorry, Olivia, I hope you don't mind me revealing.
Is that your
identity.
best friend? Your oldest friend?
My oldest friend, yeah. My oldest continuous friend, I should say, I guess.
Hello, OK Biddy.
And so like before and after we watched this movie.
Because she's from Oklahoma and she's a biddy. Oh my God. What does biddy mean?
It's why are you trying to make me
used pejoratively as an old biddy to describe a nosy or fussy woman.
It has to do with her name. Why are you trying to make me dox? So we talked a lot.
Dan, cut this out.
We talked a lot, me and about how this movie made us feel as children who were very much in a position and encouraged to culturally look up to Lindsay Lohan, first of all, the kind of person she is in this movie, and the kind of life that these twins are a part of, that they're experiencing, that they have just these like amazing lives with these incredibly loving families, that are defined very much by wealth. That like both of us grew up thinking that there was something a little bit wrong with us for not having like a 2-story house, that makes us poor or something, or that like these are things we should have and we should want. And I think that like that extends to the way that servitude is treated in this movie, which is different from 1961 in a way that I think is really interesting. That like Chessie and Martin are these live-in servants who are treated by the plot as I don't know, like half Greek chorus and half sort of surrogate family in a way that's very strange. I mean, it's like they're basically there in terms of the plot so that there can be more people in this movie to talk to. But like their presence there is never, there's nothing to suggest that it is at all strange that Elizabeth James should expect Martin to get on a plane with her to California. Is she paying him to do this as well? I guess one assumes,
he's a butler.
But he's also a brother. He's
You're
like a good friend.
You're gonna travel without a butler?
And the idea that they have a butler to begin with is just like is so silly, you know.
I think growing up as a rich kid, I'm maybe not in a position to comment.
You kind of grew up as one of these kids.
Yeah.
You had this sort of fairy tale childhood that I'm sure didn't feel like that at the time.
If I could stand being away from my mommy more when I was younger, I would have gone to this camp. But
in this camp, you know, this is, it's like the last year we're allowed to do this sort of like casual racism of like this sort of Native American fetishization of summer camp where all the cabins
Camp
are
Arapaho. Cabin Arapaho. Cabin
do that anymore.
serendipity.
It's like every single one of the kids at this camp is white, you know, which is it's just it's so interesting to see how attitudes have changed despite the best efforts of the American right. You know, but it's such a charming movie. It's so good.
I went to a wedding 2 years ago it took place at a summer camp in the Adirondacks in New York.
Cute.
Like they had met at the camp, the bride and the groom. A lot of the attendees were like fellow counselors that they had stayed friends with. There's this really big community. And I'm looking back through my brain mind. And I don't remember any racial diversity in the crowd. So, yeah. Camp seems cool.
Huh?
Camp seems cool.
Camp does seem cool. That was another sort of aspirational thing that like this image of this kind of summer camp, you know, sleepaway camp. That's like kind of an American cultural mainstay that
extremely
is
American,
very heavily coded white. That's a rich kid thing to do, you know. It
didn't used to be, which is interesting because it used to be just like it was cheaper to send your kid to camp for the summer, and then you could like have sex or whatever. I know adult relationships involve more than sexual congress. I'm aware of that. It's just good shorthand for a joke. I'm sorry. I found out, this is not related to anything. I found out from my improv class that there's something called Improv Utopia, which is like a weekend summer camp for improvisers.
That's very
and
cute.
I really want to go. I really want to go to one. I want to go so bad.
If you'd like to see,
sold out.
If you'd like to see Gus's improv camp travelogue, consider donating to our Patreon.
Oh, I want to go so bad.
I do love how much of a fairy tale these kids' lives are. I think it's really it's very, very cute, and it's I think kind of unlike the 1961 version. It's not shy about portraying their lives as sort of fantastical, you know, that like, wow, look at these beautiful places. Wow, look at these beautiful people. Wow, look how loved and cherished they are, you know. And I think that's nice. I love parenthood stories, as we've talked about. It's like just fun and nice to see how loved these kids are, you know. It's the kind of thing that I feel like I don't know. It's tough because we are in a very troubled culture right now, you know, and so, you know, the stories we tell can only do so much to and only should do so much to kind of pave over that. And like 1961 was a really troubled time in American culture. Also, it's like absolutely, certainly
there was major racial unrest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like so much of American pop culture has been devoted to pretending like those things don't exist, and I think it's a good thing. Diversity's good, okay? Like DEI is good. These are good things.
Gasp.
Like yeah, I know,
Gasp.
controversial. But like diversity in movies is good, but diversity in movies, like part of the reason I think people, especially on the right, hate it so much is because they don't want to think about bad things. They think that movies and storytelling should just be about good things and pretty things and nice things. It should be escapist or whatever, and it shouldn't. Obviously, but the flip side of that is that we can no longer tell fantasies about ourselves in the same way, and I think that's ultimately I think that's healthy.
Yeah,
but it's going to take some growing pains. The United States of America is so childish in this way.
The way that I think of our country right now is like we're in like the shitty teenagerdom.
Exactly. Yeah, we think that we're super special and that we should be able to do whatever we want to do, and that our dreams are destined to be fulfilled, and it's the job of everybody else to facilitate those dreams.
Yeah. And
we haven't been heartbroken yet. We haven't gotten fired from a job yet,
We're about to be.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's nice to use these little metaphors instead of like we haven't lost like a third of our population
exactly.
in a war yet.
Yeah.
We haven't irreversibly irradiated large swaths of the country because of somebody's ego yet. Anyway,
this
Gisela Bündchen had a cameo.
Did she really?
In this movie, yeah. When we first meet the mom, when Lindsay Lohan tags along.
Is she the model?
She's the model for the dress.
Huh.
And I know that because she said, "Hi, Gisela. How are you feeling today?" And I was like, "What a weird name." And then I remembered that she used to be married to one of the guys who cheated on the Patriots, whose name I forget.
Yes.
I'm kidding. I remember his name. I just don't like the Patriots. I think he was a Patriot.
Yeah.
Thomas
I
Brady.
just actually don't remember. Oh, yeah, Tom Brady, of course.
They gave me Tomas Brady, a Gaelic footballer and hurler. Played for... he was a Patriot, in case anyone was curious. And a Buccaneer.
That Google search...
Because he cheated. That makes sense.
Yeah. That Google search... Tom Brady seems like the kind of guy who was just... Like, his given name is Tom, Yeah. It's not short for Thomas. He's just Tom Brady on his birth certificate.
Yeah. Oh, for the record, I don't know if he cheated at all. That's that's a joke. It's not libel or whatever.
I don't think anybody's worried about suing us. Don't worry.
I'm worried. I'm always worried. Remember when he got roasted? I didn't watch it. I don't like roasts. No. They seem so mean, and then like they're just repetitive.
I know. And
get roasted. Roasts have better jokes on it.
This movie is written super well. I think it's written better than the original.
This movie is the same movie as the original, cut down slightly.
It's the same movie with better pacing.
If you're a writer, if you're a wannabe writer, and you're like, why should I edit my scripts? Watch the original Parent Trap, and then watch the new Parent Trap, and be like, oh, that's what happens when you cut like a character that you don't need, and a moment that goes on a little long.
The way that the girls especially and their relationships with the parents are characterized, and like it's so it's like one of those screenwriting constraints that makes you more creative, and that's like kind of the point of telling stories at all, that like you have this challenge of these girls not being able to like who are hiding something, like they have to by the rules of the plot, and so there's like tension built into every single scene, and that results in the sort of screenwriting that I love, where it's like these kind of unbalanced dialogue scenes where it's like one of them knows more than the other. And so the conversation means something completely different to the people having it, you know? I love that shit. I love it, you know? So when Haley, disguised as Annie, you know, hugs her mom, and her mom's like, you know, oh, it just feels like forever. And she says, oh, you have no... It's so cute. It's so cute. Like, the shots of... like, there's a really nice shot where Hallie is, like, in her mom's bedroom, and she's, like, looking at her vanity, like, all her woman things, you know? And the way that that's shot, it's just... It's so lovely. It's so
Nancy
cute.
Myers, this was her directorial debut.
Really?
She did an
incredible
very
job.
good job. One of the things that I really appreciated was, like, there's a really wonderfully, like, even right in the opening scene, there's a really wonderfully, like, choreographed chaos to like camp and everything. And there's a couple like recurring bits, and she throws in these like really cute little moments of like when they have the bugle waking everybody up, and then they cut to the person playing the bugle, and it's this like tiny,
like
skinny,
hardcore
like
struggling
9-year-old girl who's just like trying her best, and it's like a 2-second shot. And it's so funny.
Yeah, there's just so much character to and like depth and texture to everything that's happening visually, and like that chaos is I like how aesthetically, always back to aesthetics, like the movie is bookended by these really unlikely elaborate pranks, first it's a camp, and then later on camping. That kind of visual chaos of camp is reflected by the same thing when they get to the hotel, and that scene is shot so well, where everybody's like just missing each other in the hotel, and Natasha Richardson and Dennis Quaid are like anchoring it so nicely. Natasha Richardson is so good at acting drunk. Rest in peace. That sucks. She's dead now.
Did she die?
Yeah, she's the one who died in that ski accident. Yeah, she was married to Liam Neeson.
No. Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm sad now.
Yeah. It's horrible. She was I thought of her often when we went on that ski trip. When I was stuck on the top of that mountain, I thought, oh no, I'm just like Natasha Richardson. This is how I go. Except it was worse because she was on the bunny slope. She was like her first time skiing, and she was just like in a little
Is
training
that why you
situation.
were so terrified when you came skiing with me? And then I got really bored and just looped and came back.
You just left me. You left me, and then your dad had to rescue me. Your dad, who I had grown up watching on television my entire life,
right,
coaxed me down. He was very, very kind about it, but what a waste of time for him. I felt really bad.
He laughed about it. He had a good time. He was a little upset with me.
I love the ear piercing scene. That's another one where it's like
was
they're
that a
committing.
lemon that she was sticking it into?
It was an apple. It was an apple.
An apple.
Yeah.
Is that what happens? I've never pierced my ears. I probably won't.
I think the idea is you push it into the apple, first of all, for safety, so that you're not like, poking a fucking pin into anything else. Yeah. But also that like you want to feel it go into the fruit, so that the job is done. You don't
right. Oh, and you have something to press against that isn't your finger. That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm kind of shocked that they like kept the shot where the needle goes into her earlobe,
But she's obviously already pierced, so it's not.
Oh yeah, of course. It's fine, but it's just the effect is really good. I like that they both scream. It's just so cute. I love that Nick is so this movie solves a problem that I kind of have with the original, which is just how clueless Nick is, and how that's kind of the butt of a lot of jokes. This is
and which one is Nick?
The dad.
The dad. He had a different name in the first.
There's only no. I was about to say there's only one guy that matters in this movie, but that's not true. Listen. conservatives will bitch all the time about how, like, oh, in modern movies, like, the men are just, are just dumb idiots and the women are always... Yeah. No, this is an old trope. That's exactly what's happening in 1961. It's just, like, all of these women conspiring to make this guy do shit that he doesn't want to do. And I like in this movie that he remains really clueless compared to all the women. Like, I like that as soon as Annie arrives at the vineyard, Chessie, like, clocks her immediately. She's like, there's something weird about you. Something is strange about this child. And Nick Parker just, like, doesn't, it just completely goes over his head until, like, most of the way, until they get to the hotel.
Until they show up.
But it doesn't read as if he's stupid or as if they're manipulating him,
Right.
Yeah.
But isn't it also Martin the butler who realizes, like, it's Martin and then it's Grandpa who realizes?
I think it's Grandpa first.
First? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, because she nails the secret handshake that looks really cool. Yeah.
Is it reasonable for Annie to not know who Leonardo DiCaprio is in 1998?
Leo DiCaprio. Oh, he has his own Wikipedia article for just his filmography. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. He's an important guy.
Titanic was 1997.
Okay, so there's no way that Annie doesn't know who Leonardo DiCaprio is. That's silly.
Unless she doesn't go to movies.
I guess, but she's like an upper crusty Londoner. It just seems ridiculous that, like, this is not like the other side of the planet. She's not living in Borneo.
Oh my God. Titanic, the movie, cost $200 million to make. And it only made 10 times its budget.
James Cameron loves to spend money.
Jeez. I wish I could work for James Cameron. I would take some of that money.
I wish that for you.
Thank you. Oh, you know what I know? I noticed a couple classic 90s tropes. Mm-hmm. My favorite was there were two classic 90s pool falls of just the, like, pinwheeling arms for no other reason than it's funny. It's funny to watch people fall into water.
And this is how he gets hurt, which is so much better than his ex-wife punching him in the face. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Meredith Blake is amazing. She is she's one of my favorite parts of this movie, but I think in another improvement from the original, she's not, like, her performance is not outweighing the performance of the parents at all. And I think she kind of does in the 1961 version. That's just my opinion. You could disagree or not, but and I don't know the actress's name, but she's so gross. In a really great way, The
gold digger?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's awesome.
I liked her. I thought she was very fun.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I have seen, like, prime era Dennis Quaid before. Quite a handsome guy.
Very handsome. Yeah, very charming. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How come his son is not as handsome? What's going on, Jack? He's a cutie, but he's not as rugged.
Well, I don't know, Gus. I couldn't tell you, but my understanding is that Jack Quaid is a very nice person and Dennis Quaid is a very not nice person. So,
yeah, not in Companion.
Not in Companion. It's true.
He's not a nice person.
He's the bad guy in Companion.
That was a bad joke. I feel like I'm losing steam.
It's a very good movie, though. Companion.
Yeah, good movie. What else? My wonderful girlfriend was a competitive fencer in her teenage years. She was, like, second place. She won a bunch of, like, national second place medals. Every time this movie comes up, she complains about the fencing scene.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I bet, like, this also, I think, is sort of a function of how well this movie is directed, that it's, like, it's realistic, sort of, but it's, like, heightened just beyond realism, so that, like, how are they getting all of their beds on the roof for that prank? fuck
Sure.
off, you know? But like
Yeah.
it's directed, and with the fencing, it's like, no, you got to stay in the one spot. You can't just, you know.
Yeah, it's a line. It's not a fencing is a one-dimensional sport. It's not a two-dimensional sport. You don't get to run around. You go forward and back.
But you know, it's supposed to be
yeah. I know what you
fun
mean.
and cute, and they pull it off. It like, even if you know that it's unrealistic, it feels real enough that.
Yeah. There's this similar thing with like the poker
Yes,
scene that happens
yes,
right after,
uh-huh.
which like from how it was shot, it certainly feels like that whole poker scene was just one hand of poker. And they just kept dumping money into the pot.
and nail polish and
Yeah. Which
hair
was
clips and shit.
very-
How are they defining the
funny.
denomination of how much a nail polish is worth? Come on.
Yeah. A nail polish is worth like 3 acorns. Everybody knows that. I feel like we're done. It's a solid hour and a half, which is probably like an hour 23 after editing.
Probably. Oh, very minor note. But
Yeah.
when everybody makes fun of Meredith Blake for like smacking those sticks together to keep away the mountain lions, and she's like, "Oh, there are no mountain lions up here, are there?" And they're like, "No, there absolutely are."
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking
Yeah.
about? In
There's
the
mountain lions all
northern
through
California
California.
mountains? Yes, of course there are
Yeah.
mountain lions.
Yeah. I think it was like, because in the original movie, it's like, this isn't going to keep away the mountain lions, is it? And they were like, no, it's not.
No.
I'm sure there was a note that was like, do we want to imply that she might get eaten by mountain lions?
Right.
So, probably. Anyway, thanks for joining us as we talked about 2 actually pretty solid, pretty good movies. You know what we forgot to do last time that we have to do this time? You wanted to update the rankings.
Did we forget to do that last time?
I think so.
Oopsie.
Of our favorite movies. So we're going to do that
Oopsie.
now. If I can remember.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say that this is a remake that is better than the original.
Yes.
It's super good.
The first one? Is this the first remake that's better than the
It
original?
might be, although I mean, Pete's Dragon maybe, but the bar is so low that I don't think it should count. But this one, the bar is pretty high. The Parent Trap 1961 is a pretty good movie. And
Yeah.
The Parent Trap 1998 is far and away a better movie, I think.
There's a small chance that I don't know where my rankings are.
That's rough. I found mine.
Hold on. Let me find this. There it is. I found it. Okay. We did not do it last week.
Okay.
Whoops,
I
last
don't
time.
see the Shaggy Dog in my rankings either. I think it didn't save. That's okay.
I see it in mine.
Okay.
Okay, so Absent-Minded Professor.
For the originals,
Yeah.
I think Absent-Minded.
Real quick, because I got to.
I think Absent-Minded Professor. It's kind of hard because it's pretty good, but is it? Well, it's better than Pete's Dragon for sure. It's probably better than Peter Pan. Is it better than Alice in Wonderland? I don't know. Maybe I like it better, but I don't think I like it as much as Pinocchio. So it goes 4th worst. The Absent-Minded Professor.
I'm putting it as 6th worst.
Okay.
Below Absent-Minded Professor is Alice in Wonderland, Shaggy Dog, Pinocchio, Peter Pan, and Pete's Dragon.
Okay.
And then the Flubber. Where are we putting
Oh,
Flubber?
Flubber. I didn't like Flubber very much. But these are the remakes we're talking about. So
Yeah.
it's still probably comfortably above most of the remakes. Let's see. I think I put the Shaggy Dog above Aladdin, which is absolute nonsense. Ridiculous that this is the position we're in. And I think I do not like this is also an insane thing to say. I feel I do not like Flubber as much as I like the Shaggy Dog of 2006.
Interesting.
And I think I will put it, I think I even like it less than Aladdin, but I do like it more than Pete's Dragon, maybe, I think. Or do I? Oh my God. You know what? I think I don't. I think I like Pete's Dragon better than Flubber. So Flubber goes under Pete's Dragon as I think like 8th best. Let's see.
I have put Flubber as 6th best in between Cinderella and The Little Mermaid.
Okay.
Yeah. And now The Parent Trap.
Parent Trap. I think The Parent Trap for me is going to go between Pinocchio and Sleeping Beauty.
So still pretty low.
Pretty low, yeah. Better than Pinocchio, worse than Sleeping Beauty. It is at sixth
Okay.
worst.
My Parent Trap is 8th worst.
Okay.
Between Cinderella and Jungle Book.
Kind of
The Jungle Book.
kind of similar. But these are all banger movies, so
Yeah.
yeah. My Parent Trap definitely, breaks the I don't know. There's a big gap between the worst originals that we saw, which are Pete's Dragon, really mostly Pete's Dragon.
Yeah.
And like through Alice in Wonderland, and then the rest of them are all
definitely.
amazing.
And then for the remake of The Parent Trap.
Remake of The Parent Trap is going to go really high for me,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it might. Wow, it's the best. It's the best remake.
It's the best remake?
It's better than
That's
Cinderella,
Yeah.
and I
Okay.
like Cinderella more than 101 Dalmatians. So
Yeah. My remake of The Parent Trap is at number 3, in between the first 15 minutes of Alice in
that's
Wonderland.
not real.
and
That
Maleficent.
doesn't count.
It's my ranking system. I can do whatever I want. So it's 3rd best. So it's 101 Dalmatians is still my favorite. And then the first 15 minutes of Alice in Wonderland. And then The Parent Trap.
Okay, so it's really second best.
Good movie. So yeah, you can go see The Parent. This is also something we've been forgetting to do. You can go see The Parent Trap if you want. They're both quite good, especially the remake. But if you don't want to watch adorable children tricking their parents into falling in love when the first marriage did not work out, what can you go see? What should you go see?
You could go see Hokum if you want.
Is Hokum good?
Yes, it is good.
Can somebody make a good movie that isn't horror, please?
It is
Please?
his third movie. God, I forgot the director's name. I'm so sorry. But I've been like
The Irish
the
guy.
Irish guy, and his
Yeah.
first movie sort of made a splash. It was this sort of shoestring budget thing that I wrote a review for back when it came out, and I was a little baby reviewer in like 2017 or something. And it's so fun that he's like not only continuing to get work, but continuing to like write his own stuff and have creative control and be able to hire people like Adam Scott. That's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I do think I like Oddity better. I think it's a better movie, but is a good follow up. I think it's very good. Go see Hokum.
Okay. I want to recommend Obsession, but it is so fucking creepy. Like, I don't know. I can't do it in good conscience. I can't put that on to people. I'm going to recommend something else. There's a writer on Substack named Sam Chris who is very angry and very good, and who I generally agree with. And I really enjoy reading his stuff because he writes things like, if you use AI in your writing, I will find out where you live and I will hunt you down and I will kill you. And this will actually happen. So don't do it. And he's very smart at talking. And I like it. So that's my
What's
recommendation.
his name again?
Sam Chris. Okay. He's British. SAM space, I think KRISS.
Cool.
He's very good.
Mm-hmm. Go read.
Yeah, do a book.
Yeah, read a book.
Or a web blog thing.
Mm-hmm. A web blog.
A web blog thing. Anything else?
No, join us next time for...
I think it's That Darn Cat, but let me double
Okay.
check. I have to pee so bad. Dan, leave that in. We just did The Parent Trap. That Darn Cat is next.
Great.
And then The Love Bug, Witch Mountain, Freaky Friday. If we're missing one of these live action remakes, please let us know. I don't want to be embarrassed publicly like that.
I'm so excited for That Darn Cat. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know literally nothing. And I'm hoping that we can find time to start recording our horror season. Because I do want to get into that sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. And we will have...
So look out for that in the next month or
and
so.
And also we will have a guest for at least Freaky Friday, right?
Yeah, we will. But you'll have to find out
Super
who
fun
when
surprise
it's
mystery
time.
guest.
Mystery guest. Outro. Wait, no. I need to do the outro.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for listening to What's More With Feeling, a podcast about great original movies, and sometimes they're even better remakes. Oh my God, it's finally happened. It only took 20 episodes. If you liked it, you can support us by sharing and liking and going to Patreon and doing social media and bothering your friends about listening. Just pester them relentlessly. Just like when they have a birthday, instead of singing happy birthday, you should sing, you should watch What's More With Feeling. Yeah, join that darn cat next week or next time.
Did you say all the social
We already
media
talked
stuff? I
about
kind
that.
of tuned out for a second.
Oh, we have social media. It's on the Blue Sky and the TikTok and the Instagram, YouTube. The podcasts are doing good. At some point, we might put credits, like official credits here, but that's not today.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good thing to do eventually. We can actually
Yeah.
credit our music guy and
Yeah.
Dan.
I know they're credited in the show notes, not the editor, but we can put that if he wants to.
Whatever. We've only got our shit like
Yeah.
80% together.
80%
But
together.
that's more than it was originally.
Yeah, but originally it was 78%. And now we've raised it a whole 2%. You're welcome, America and other countries. Okay, see you next time.
Outro music.
Outro music.